Right, first morning on Arran. We got here yesterday, decided to do a bit of a survey, see what sort of trees have been took down, because they've been working on it for the last 6 weeks or so. Not took as much as we thought, and they're not planning to take too much more, to be fair, so it shouldn't really affect what we're doing. So just getting our gear on now. Left my dad at the other end of the wood, and he's going to keep an eye on that area. There's not much of a wind, so it's not going to really affect us anyway. So we're going to make our way up the long track, see what that looks like, because that's where a lot of the felling's been done. See what that looks like. Get up, have a sit out on the bank like we normally do, see if there's anything moving. We heard a bit of roaring on the opposite hill when we turned up, so there is still a ruck going, but the weather, it's still quite warm. I think it's about 10, 11 degrees this morning, so there's been no frost, so it's not really kicking them off yet, I don't think. But a bit of luck, should be some deer moving. We'll get out and get one on the ground. Right, we made it to the bottom part of the hill for the last climb up, and been a lot of wind blown, a lot of trees in the way. It's a bit harder than it used to be, and that's without it factoring in all the forestry work that's gone on. So it might be interesting if we have to drag a deer off this way, because we're going to have to come off the track a few times, I think, but we'll see that, so we'll work that out as it happens. But it's took us a bit longer to get up here, but the sun's coming out now. It's looking like a good day, especially weather-wise, so should get deer out up on the tops and hopefully get on rutting. Heard it on the opposite hill all the way up, not heard any shout backs on our side, so we'll give it a minute here, catch our breath, and then make our way up, and hopefully there's not too much wind blown, but it's looking like there's been a bit more trees since last time. Right, we made it up with a few distractions. There's a couple of wind-blown trees fell right on the track, exactly where they fell before, where we've had to cut them out. So if we get time this week, we might come up with chainsaw and cut a fresh track in, because if we do need to drag a deer down there, it's going to be a bit awkward. It's not too bad getting up and climbing over the trees, but if we've got a big deer coming down there, it's going to struggle. But we'll plan that through the week. But up on the banking now, nothing out, weather's looking great, sun's out, dry, not heard any roaring at all. My dad's just rung, he's heard roaring in the wood on his side, but it went quiet, so there is a sign of ruck going on. And as I say, it's great weather for it, especially on this banking. When the sun hits it, it gets really warm, and that should encourage the deer to come out onto it. But we'll give it a couple of hours probably here before we start heading up on top of the hill, just to make sure nothing is waiting to come out here. Well, that's our first bit of action. A hind and a spiker came running out about 80 yards off us, a bit too close for what we wanted. The hind stood shootable, but the spiker just sort of stayed in cover, and the hind were watching us, and then I think she could smell us and didn't like it, and she ran off. And he followed her. It's a shame that, but we've seen deer. It could have been a shot on, but they just come out in the wrong little dip. So like I say, the hind would have been an easy shot, but the spiker just weren't offering that shot. So that's ruined a bit of the morning, but we'll keep an eye out here and then we'll make a plan on. But it's good that we're seeing deer and deer are moving. Right, that second opportunity, as we went up on top of the hill, spotted an eat source on its own, so that made me think possible stag. So we stalked in, but the mist was coming in, so we used that to our advantage, to be fair, but the wind was sort of swirling on us. So we got into about 180 yards and I could see it, but I couldn't, it was skylined really. I was waiting for it to come towards us, and it looked like it were at some point, but then it decided to hop over the hill. It knew we were here because, like I say, the wind was swirling on us, but I thought we were going to be lucky and have him come towards and challenge us. Might have been worth giving him a roar, but I've not heard any roaring going on, so that might have just spooked him off anyway. But he weren't happy we were there. And like I say, if the mist weren't as thick as it were, might have had a bit of a better chance of trying to stalk in and make a backstop, but couldn't really see where we were or where to go. But yeah, it's proper clouds dropped in now, which has messed us up a bit, so we're going to sit here for a bit just to let everything settle and see if that mist lifts before we start walking into new areas, because we're just going to, if there is deer out, we're just going to be doing the same thing, disturbing deer without being able to do anything about it. So we'll sit here and there's a chance that stag could come back out if we keep watching. But yeah, that's 2 opportunities, so it's good. Hopefully there should be some more. You can see him with my naked eye. Don't know which way he's gonna go on this ridge. If he comes this way, we're sorted. He's him in the hind, I think. He's coming towards us. Keep low. Really close. Ranging for me. How far is it? How far? Perfect.
Good shot.
Yeah, you were getting too close for comfort. Keep an eye on him.
Yeah, I've got it. He's down, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's stopped now.
Yeah, give him a bit. Yeah. Like I say, I didn't want him to get too close, you see.
No.
Oh. Right, that's a day down, and if you'd noticed, a bit of a scope rash on my bloody nose. And I get that with trigger cam sometimes. And I think it's because I was shooting slightly uphill. It's jumped back, but it doesn't hurt too much at the minute. But yeah, anyway, we'll ignore that. There's a day down, and he looks like a good stag. A good stalk. I think I've got it all on GoPro as well. We've been hearing him roaring a bit while we were sat there waiting for these other stags to come out. What were roaring near the other wood, he kept coming behind us. And then the mist lifted, perfect. So we thought, right, we'll have a quick walk in on him. Spotted him about 800-900 yards. And he kept coming perfect path that we wanted towards us. But he was covering 400 yards while we did 100 because of the up and down heather. And then he just appeared about 130 yards. I was waiting for that broadside shot, but I don't think I was going to get the opportunity of a broadside. I think he would end up walking on top of us, so I took a neck shot and dropped him on the spot. Give him a few minutes, make sure he's gone, but there's no movement. We can see antlers just poking above the hill. So we're going to walk up to him now and then plan what we're going to do with getting him off, because I don't think we've extracted from this bit before. But you can see I've got a bit of a shake on there. Yeah. But yeah, it's a day down and a bloodied nose. Can't beat that for a bit of day stalking. There he is. Oh, he's a nice one. Missing a point. Bit of a shame. He would have been a 10-pointer. But nice 9-pointer. Nice white tips on him. Good deer to get down, but it's going to be a bit of a challenge getting him off. You can tell he's been rutting. Hip bones are out, so he'll be lighter than normal, but probably still not light enough. Yeah, lovely antlers on him there. Dark with the white tips. Just a shame that one's broke off. Well, yeah, so we're going to try and get hold of my dad now and sort of make a plan of getting it off, because as for where we are, the closest wood line is over there, and we can't really drag down because it's so steep, so we might have to go that way and then down. But we'll get him grollocked, get hold of my dad, and then make a plan from here, because it's going to be a bit of a fun challenge, this one. I think this will probably be the most challenging drag off we've had. Probably close to one James shot last year, sort of the same area if I'm honest. But yeah, get him grollocked and get to the next bit. Right, that's gone even better. Just got word off my dad. He shot a spiker and a small stag. Don't know why he decided to shoot two, but he has. So we've got a bit of a really awkward drag now, because we've still not moved yet. I decided to have a smoke, seeing we've got plenty of time anyway. Just had a word with one of the lads who's on the island, Oscar. He's going to come up and give us a lift, get them off, because there's a few deer. I'm going to be taking him out this week stalking as well, so hopefully we can repay the favour. But he's just on ferry now, so it'll be a bit of a while before he'll get up. But it's mainly give me dad a lift, because by the time we get to my dad, we'll be knackered anyway. So we can't get over a ravine to get to him. So we're going to try and make our way towards a tree line just before the ravine, and then cut through the trees, and hopefully we should be able to get through to the road. And then by the time we've done that, Oscar should be with my dad. And with a bit of luck, it should all come for a decent drag off. But this is the most deer we shot. I think the most we've ever done was 2 before, and they were 2 small spikers, and they were shot in the same area. This will be a bit of a challenge for us, but well worth it. I've really enjoyed today's stalk. Like I say, got most of it on footage, and really exciting. I even got a bit of a shake afterwards, which is odd for me, because I've not had a shake for a while. And my nose is healing up a bit better, so that's not too bad. But finish this smoke, get our gear all sorted, take some layers off, and then plan our route off the hill. Just as we're dragging back, an hind there just staring at us. You can see us. Shame we can't strap the deer to, and it'll help us drag. It's going to move off in a minute, I think. Yeah. But we've been making a lot of noise dragging this, arguing on the phone, on radio, and that's still popped out. I mean, we're not dragged very far, to be fair, but not far from the tree line now. And Oscar's not far from my dad, by I suppose. My dad's done a better drag than us by the sound of things. Yeah, he's just ran off now. There's a stag there. If we were greedy, we could shoot that. But we've only just got that one to the trees and walking back for our gear now. But it's mad how when you don't want to shoot them, they don't seem bothered by you. Probably only 100 yards off us. A bit knackered there. We've got deer to the tree. We're just walking back for our bags now, because we didn't want to carry extra weight. It's been an hard drag. That's the worst one we've had. My dad's took trees now. He'll probably be back to the car before us with his too. But just walk back for our gear and then start dragging through trees, which is generally about 60% easier. Right, it's been dragging through trees semi-easy. We've not hit any dead ones yet, which has been lucky. But we've gone all the way up from there. It's not too bad, like I say, with it being vertical, but every so often you get a tree root with antlers snag up on. So just got to keep doing a bit of sawing now and then. But yeah, we're getting there. I bet my dad's already back to the car, to be fair. Yeah, we're almost at the road, and we've had a bit of a hiccup. Some dead trees, so I've had to do a bit of sawing, and then drag it underneath some, and then lift it over some. We're not far from the road now, so bit of luck, we should be able to load it up and get it to the ladder. I've not heard from my dad where he is with his too, but we're getting there. It's just been a long drag, really hard work this one, but it's all part of the fun, I suppose. Yeah, it's the morning after. didn't do much recording after that because it was late when we got back to the larder. I think it was about 6 o'clock by the time we had loaded the deer up in the trucks and got them back to the larder. But it was a great day. And that stag I shot ended up weighing 16 stone. So that was the reason why it was such an hard drag, as well as the ground we had to do it on. But we had a rest this morning, just to give the ground a rest and our bodies a rest, because it was hard going yesterday. So we'll have a day off today, might go fishing this afternoon, and then go back at it tomorrow. I'm going to be taking Oscar out with me, who gave us a lift. Really grateful to him, because we wouldn't have managed as easy if he didn't get out there and give me dad a lift, because by the time we got down we'd have to go back up and give me dad a lift with his two. So yeah, thanks to him, and hopefully we should get some more footage throughout the week. If not, obviously there won't be another video, but with the way the stags are roaring and moving about, can't see us not getting a couple more days down throughout the week. But yeah, if you watched the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.